What is up, you guys? Ejay Cruz here, and this is The Parables, a podcast that was developed with the pure intent to inspire, influence, and empower its audience. And we do this by sharing the stories of some amazing and impactful guests, everything leading up to where they are today and their success. Now, a lot of people could probably categorize this podcast as motivation, inspiration, maybe even entrepreneurship. I like to see it more as a movement. And the reason why I say that is because there's just something about being in the moment and having a very laid back conversation with somebody. I feel it's very overlooked, and really not to discredit any interviewish type podcast, but there's just something about having just conversation with people that I really love. And we're trying to make this podcast as unique as possible. So thank you everyone for joining. I have my amazing guest, Amar Patel. I appreciate you coming by, man.
Thank you so much.
No problem, man. I gotta be brutally honest with you, Amar. Man, dude, I changed my work shift today just to accommodate you. And I'm not trying to put any pressure on you or make you feel bad, but I just knew I couldn't pass up on this opportunity. I know that just getting to know a little bit of you, that you have a huge impact and you're well known in your industry. So I couldn't pass up on this opportunity. I hope the drive wasn't too bad, by the way.
That was all right.
It was all right?
Yeah.
All right, dude. So just to, just to give us rundown of this podcast again, we just really sit down. I want to get to know you. This is going to be a very unique episode, by the way, because with my past two guests, I actually knew of them. I actually were friends with them, been in contact with them for years. With Amar, and he could attest to this, we just met. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. I hope you guys really feel as if you're sitting next to us and getting to know Amar. So anyway, Amar is the CEO of Edge Supplements, and he is also a social media mogul. Amar, man, truthfully, I want to say like, hey, he's an Olympic gold medalist, a 5-time this champion. Truthfully, that's all I know about you, man. And like I said, this is what's going to make this particular episode so unique because we're going to get to know you and everything that you've accomplished and everything that's led up to where you are today, man. So, dude, Amar, let's talk about your upbringing. So you're from Jersey, as you said when we were walking up here?
Yeah, born and raised in New Jersey.
Born and raised in New Jersey, okay. And then how long were you there before you live in LA now, right? So
yeah, I moved here about 6 months ago.
About 6 months ago. How's the transition been?
It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the weather. New Jersey's got a lot of upsides and downsides. I think the biggest thing in New Jersey was the ability to grow up in a town where there's all Italian people and I was the only Indian person.
Oh, okay.
So the upbringing was a little bit more of, I grew thick skin in New Jersey. So coming over here, I noticed that people are a little bit more laid back and move a little bit slower.
Mm-hmm.
But over there, it got us to go and do things quicker. But transitioning over here has been perfect.
Yeah. Okay.
And we bring that mentality from the East Coast to the West Coast.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't think that anybody from the East Coast would ever fail coming to the West Coast.
Oh, nice. Okay. So would you say just 6 months ago, so a majority of everything that you've built, your empire and just everything you're doing was a lot of it was done in New Jersey?
Most of it wasn't done in New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
And then 6 months ago, I moved there. We got a warehouse in Simi Valley. We do our manufacturing in Valencia. So,
nice. Okay. My wife's from Valencia. So, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it really picked up because then I started to expand out. I started to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I realized that moving from New Jersey to the West Coast wasn't going to be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
Still transitioning over, but it's been pretty smooth.
Yeah. I'm sure you love the weather here in California.
I love the weather here.
A lot better.
It's probably raining and cold over there right now.
Yeah.
It's October already, so.
That's crazy. So, you're Indian, correct?
Yes.
Did so like my parents, they're from the Philippines. They migrated here, busted their ass off. Is that kind of like a similar story with your parents? Did they come over here and you guys in New Jersey? Okay. Describe to us how that was, just living in, that upbringing with your parents migrating over here and working hard and all that stuff.
Well, so if I give you the backstory, I mean, you're
Sure.
looking at, my parents came over here.
Mm-hmm.
They had not too much money, but at the same time, my dad has 7 brothers.
Oh, wow.
All guys.
Huge
no
family.
girls. And then my mom has 3 sisters and 2 brothers. So it's like, when we were transitioning out over here, I mean, my mom's side of the family stayed in London,
Mm-hmm.
but my dad's side came over here. And in our world, there's no such thing as entrepreneurship.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, it was go to school, get A's, get B's, If you fail, you got your ass whooped.
Uh-huh.
So in my upbringing, it was more of you got to go to school, you got to get a degree, and you got to go pick up a job. There was never a transition where it said, hey, you need to save up a little bit by going to work and then go open up your own first business, see how you do. If you fail, you fail. If you do well, you do well. But that was never an option for us.
Yeah.
Me and my brother either just had to go to school or didn't go to school at all. Did nothing. So we went to school, we finished up everything. I actually went to college for 2 years and then I didn't feel like going back.
Okay.
By that time, I mean, I was making a decent amount of money. My parents like, okay, they let me go.
Yeah.
They let me go on my own route.
Yeah.
And I started figuring things out from there. Just 18 years old, figuring things out myself. So I do appreciate the fact that my parents did let me go, because in Indian households, they're not supposed to just let you go.
It's not the traditional
until
way.
Until you get married and you're out of the house,
yeah.
Then you're on your own.
Kind of same way with our family too. That's funny. So were you were born in Jersey too, though?
Yeah,
you were
born and raised in New Jersey.
And then how many brothers and siblings do you have?
Just have one brother.
Just have one brother?
Okay.
Older. Nice. So what was so besides the upbringing in your family, like, you know, kind of just letting you go, what was the key driving factor for you to take on entrepreneurship? Was it just kind of something that you felt you knew was deep down inside of you, or was it really just, you know, your upbringing and your parents just let you go after?
So I tried the whole job thing.
Okay.
So when I went to college, I also got a job.
Okay.
So I was working at a fitness company, selling personal training. What we're doing, I mean, I'm 17, 18 years old, and I'm selling about $50,000 to $75,000 a month in personal training.
Oh, okay.
So at the same time, I did the job. I tried it out. I'm making this person so much money that I could have been a millionaire at that time if I was doing $75,000 a month myself. But at the same time, I didn't have a gym. I didn't have the ability to pay rent and have the ability to do all that. So there was a situation where the vice president of the company came down. He said, if you hire people, they need to be molded into a manager so that you can move up into the company. I did that. So now my main goal was to move up in the company and start working on. I'm 17, 18 years old now. So I move up to get promoted, and then I start hiring people. When I did start hiring people, the only problem is I was only 18, right? And I'm doing higher numbers than the guys in this company that are 35 and 40. So they don't like me, period. So
you're a manager at this time?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Now I was supposed to get promoted to district. So I was supposed to take over multiple locations. And by the time my boss had gone, the new hire that I brought on, I taught her how to train. I taught her how to sell personal training. I taught her how to close deals. And she ended up doing more than me because I was giving her a couple of deals to motivate her from my side. So I was giving her 5, 10 grand just to motivate her to do more, because she's going to get paid more now. She gets paid off commission at a base. She got promoted over me.
Oh, okay.
Vice president said, since she's a little bit older, the guys in the other districts feel more comfortable having her as the person to run it. I was like, she just got hired 6 months ago. I was like, there's no way that you're going to tell me all that bullshit in the beginning about hire manager, to mold them to be a boss and then put them over me. Like, that's not how you're supposed to do business, period. So I told the vice president to go fuck himself.
So they basically overlooked you, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, but that's literally the first moment when I realized, I was like, if I keep doing this for the rest of my life and I keep trying to make everybody else $75,000, $100,000 a month, I'm just going to get the same thing over and over and over until I take control.
You're going to be stuck in that society that's like, you know.
For the next 10 years and I'm 26 now, right? So for the next 10 years, I would have been just doing the same thing. Somebody would have started burning me. They would have burned my bridge again. And they would have just kept doing it because I'm too young. People think they can take advantage of young people. And that's the only reason why that happened to me in the first place. But then I realized I need to be my own boss. So I just took off from there. And whatever money I had saved up, I put it towards starting my own business, which is personal training, because that's all I knew.
So what time, I mean, not what time, how old were you at that time when you when all that stuff was happening, when that person took over your position?
Left at 19. Left the job at 19.
Dang, you identified this such at an early age.
I was just pissed off.
Yeah.
I just get really fucking mad when people do that to me. So my only mission in life was to make sure I get to the top, and then I turn around and tell him to go fuck himself again.
Yeah.
Because
repurposing.
Because I was there 7 days a week. So the difference is being there for 7 days a week and actually working and then somebody getting promoted over me is like I'm doing all of this work.
Yeah.
and it's starting to pay off. It's starting to pay off, and then boom, just got cut.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm taking orders from some lady that I hired, that I trained.
Yeah, you did all the work.
So I can't sit there and be like, hey, I'm gonna listen to you.
Yeah.
It's not in my bones and my blood to do that.
Yeah.
So I just left. And when I left, I started my own personal training company,
Mm-hmm.
which wasn't even. So I realized I need to find out a way to start my own business without having high overhead in the beginning.
Yeah.
So my goal was at the time, about 7-8 years ago when I started this, was that there was personal training complexes. There was complexes that had no personal training in it. It's like apartment complexes.
Mm-hmm.
I would go to a nice part of New Jersey, like Hoboken, New Jersey, and I would see all these buildings, and every single building had a gym, really nice, fully loaded gym on the rooftop, overview looking at Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these gyms were amazing, and these people and these tenants are paying for these gyms. They were never using them.
Yeah.
They were going to like Planet Fitness or one of these other gyms for $10 a month.
Yeah.
When they have a great gym in their building, but they're going to these locations because they have personal training.
Mm-hmm.
The guy that's living in that building has $5,000 to $7,000 a month in rent.
Mm-hmm.
The person that's living in there, the demographic is just a totally different demographic. It's more of, I don't give a shit about money. I care about convenience, and I care about my time. How much time can I save? How much time can I have for myself? Because these people, they leave their house at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
They don't get home until 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm.
So how much time are they really spending in that $7,000 a month apartment?
Yeah.
So I found that a way to bring personal training and convenience to the wealthy in that area. Nobody was doing it. I went to about 15, 20 complexes. Not one person was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So then I realized there's a niche here, and I started to go there. I mean, I'm 19, right? So I'm trying to go get a meeting with the property manager, and the property manager is not even having a meeting with me.
Yeah. They're just seeing
I'm
like
not
this
even
young kid, right?
I'm not even getting past the front desk.
Hey.
That is how bad it was.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't look too young. I still had my beard and everything, but at the same time, I would just walk in there and I would take a tour before I even asked them. And then every single day, I would go there. I would go to different complexes in the area.
Mm-hmm.
Not one of them would take me. I think I tried for about 2 to 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Driving back and forth. That's like a 40-minute drive from my town.
Hey. Okay.
So like, I'm on a mission to make sure I get one of those deals.
One of them, yeah.
And then 3 months in, after the first month, I was like, all right, this isn't for me. I'm gonna go get a job. And then I thought about it again overnight, and I was like, no. I was like, I'm gonna go back tomorrow. And I kept going back. And it was actually frustrating at the same time. But I mean, what I did was I realized I need to simplify now. I need to figure out where I need to go, pick the one spot I really love, and where I would see myself having this, not just picking 30 different complexes and then just throwing one of them, see what closes.
Yeah.
So I went to one I really liked, the one I was passionate about, the one I could see personal training people inside of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the gym I went to every single day for 14 days. I annoyed the fucking shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
I showed up there every day for 14 days, the same building.
You're relentless.
I told him, I was like, I would like a meeting with the property manager. She's like, oh, no, you can't meet with her. I was like, okay, good. I'll be back here tomorrow at 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But how many people in this world are actually going to do that?
Not a
How many
lot.
people are actually going to go to that same place over and over and over again? But I locked my mind to it. There's a difference.
Okay.
Like when I'm on a mission, I lock my mind to it and I stick to it. And not one thing could break me from getting to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the difference. When I was 19, I was trying it. And now, I mean, I still keep trying over and over. If I don't find an avenue to move forward, I'll readjust and I'll find a passion with something I like to do. And I'll just shoot towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Back then, I did get that meeting. 14 days later, I got the meeting. And the property manager brought me into her office. And she's like, okay, so I'm going to have a meeting with you. I was like, look, I only need literally 5 minutes of your time.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm going to need 5 minutes of your time. And you're going to tell me why you need me. Like,
Wow.
laid it out for her. So she started laughing because she's like, okay, this kid's a piece of shit. He's coming in here. He's talking shit.
Yeah.
Let's just sit down with him and see what he has to say.
Mm-hmm.
So I literally sat down with her and I told her how convenience can be brought to their tenants.
Mm-hmm.
So then I broke it down to her in a simple concept. I remember exact word for word. I told her, people in this building, they want convenience. They don't want to sit in red, stop and go, traffic, just like New York City. The guys that live in this building, they're living here because of convenience. They don't give a shit about money. They're spending $7,000 a month on this. What do you think they're spending on their car and the other stuff?
Yeah.
I was like, but when they leave work at the end of the day, and they want to go to their gym and get personal training. We have a gym here. You're cutting, so they can miss the traffic at 5 p.m., get home, park their car, start cooking the food upstairs, and then go train on the rooftop with their personal trainer for 30 minutes, come down, and all the food is done. I mean, if I added everything up, they save about 2.5 hours of their night just by doing that.
You broke it down for her and how you could be of value to.
Well, I told you, 2.5 hours, these people are going to be in love with this place. They're going to actually want to be here and live here. I was like, right now, all these people that live in this building, they're just living here because it's close to where they work. They don't really love to live here. So when their lease is expiring, what's going to make them want to stay here longer than that lease? I was like, you'll find new tenants. But I was like, don't you want to keep the same tenants over and over and over again? Because they're going to be the ones that talk highly about it. And if they stay here for the next 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, at least you have new stuff to offer them. Like a lot of these complexes, they just offer them the basic stuff, the amenities. They clean shit up a little bit, and then they think that it's okay. Move stuff around, make it interesting, change the paintings, do different things. So she was actually surprised that I had broke it down to her that way.
Yeah, I'm sure she was impressed, right?
Then then at the same time, she literally was like, okay, now move on to the next step. So I literally already sold her, and it's not that I needed to sell her. I literally had a solution to a problem, and that's all there was. It was a solution to a problem that they don't see. Property manager doesn't see it because they don't live there. They don't live in the shoes of a tenant, but they never think outside the box. They always think about what's broken, what needs to be fixed, or the tenants getting or paying their rent. But they look on the other side, like what are the tenants getting for paying the rent? Nobody's looking at that. So we brought a concept that at the time, personal training wasn't that big at the time. But for the people that can afford it, $100 a session, $150 a session, it was easy for them to afford it, and they could get in their building and they don't have to leave. Like Saturday, Sunday, they don't even need to do anything. They can just go right upstairs, train, come back down, have a great time, and relax in the apartment. So I took that concept, and it really pushed forward into my passion of what I'd like to do from the first place. Like I started selling personal training because I liked helping people. There was no money in it in the beginning because it was making it for somebody else. So it's not like I got hooked into a passion because money was going to be the only driving factor. Money was the only driving factor when I started my own business, and I realized, okay, when I was working for this person, they had to pay all these bills, X, Y, Z, and then they took home everything after they paid their employees, and this is what's left. So then I was thinking more of like, okay, like maybe it wasn't that bad working for somebody. Because now you got to do the other stuff. You got to do the accounting, you got to do the finances, you got to do the books. You got to make sure that everything is in line. Otherwise, if you overspend, you're going to go in the negative, and then you have to try to play catch up. And that really opened up my mind to business, because I wasn't really thinking business. I was thinking more of, let me just start selling stuff. Salesperson, not a business person. Salesperson knows how to drive up numbers. But when you're a business person, you need to actually drive up the numbers and know how you're going to sustain that growth. And I don't think that a lot of entrepreneurs nowadays realize that they could sell $500,000 worth of product. But if they don't have their books right, they don't have their accounting right, they don't know what their
numbers don't add up, right?
They don't know what their goods cost. They could be in the negative every month. I don't care how many millions of dollars you sell every month. But the problem is when you don't sell it, you need to have both. You need to be working simultaneously.
What's crazy is it's funny that you just bring this up about how, that incident where that woman took over your job, because I just literally posted something on Instagram about harnessing your fuel, and whatever it is. My mentor Andy, he talks about like harnessing your dark side, and it's okay to be humble, but you got to use anything you can to keep you motivated. And in addition to what you just said about do you always approach anything you tackle on with that mindset of I found a solution to a problem?
Yes and no. I mean, at the same time, like I just adjust to what I know is going to work, and I don't know how. I just know I have a gut feeling of, okay, if I take this approach, it's going to work. If I take this approach, it's going to work. If I take this approach, it's not going to work. There's always 3 different roads for me, and 2 of them are normally the ones that say yes.
Okay, gotcha.
It's like I have this sense of what I know. If I put the numbers together, I put what I see as a trend. A lot of people don't look at trends. So I'm going to give you one thing. When you're on Instagram, Instagram is a business, and nowadays everybody wants to have an Instagram business. Whatever, social media company or whatever it is. They want to sell clothes, they want to sell supplements, they want to own their own brand. But at the end of the day, people don't realize that it's not that easy.
Mm-hmm.
Like opening up a storefront is actually easier because the bank will say, okay, you want to open up a Dunkin' Donuts? Okay, perfect. They have a brand, they have a reputation. Here's a loan. Go figure it out. Pick a good location. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
Pick a good location, pick good employees. But when you're doing an online business, you have to figure out who's going to shut your shit down. Like you don't, nobody can just close that retail store. I mean, you have insurance on that on your business and everything. What's the insurance on your business online? Like, what if your sales go up
It's
1 month
interesting, yeah.
and your sales shoot down the next
Like
month?
your traffic could
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Interesting. So let's talk about, now that we're talking about Instagram, let's talk about your social media empire. How did that begin? Was it something, again, like you kind of identified there was like a huge opportunity, like a gray area? Or how exactly did your social media?
Well, I started in 2013. Yeah, 2013, I started posting pictures of quotes and stuff. And it was mainly to just motivate me.
Yeah.
Because I would post it, I would see it. And then all of a sudden I'd see like people start to like it and a lot more people and over and over and over. And they started to like the motivational quotes. And I saw that there was a market for that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also saw like if people are seeing this, how many other people are going to be seeing a product that I sell or anything else that I'm putting up here right now?
Okay.
Like these eyes are valuable.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really took that concept into my first supplement brand, which, I mean, we don't really talk about first supplement brand, but I mean, that brand, I had my learning curve figured out. Figured out some of the stuff that could mess you up
Yeah.
in business and the stuff that you make mistakes on long term.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mistakes that I've made in that first business, which was trademark issues and not getting the basic stuff done, like accounting. What is my cost of goods from my warehouse to my customer?
Mm-hmm.
Am I paying for shipping? Am I making money on shipping?
Yeah.
I didn't look at all those things.
The
So,
basic principles, it sounds like, right?
so we were shooting up growth. I started to grow the social media account for that company.
Okay.
Then what happened was we grew that from I think about 10,000 to about 300,000 followers in a little under 10 months. About 3,000 ambassadors. And that time, everybody wanted to be part of something.
Yeah.
And this is actually a funny thing is that Andy Frisel's company was just starting up at the time as well.
Oh, nice.
So all of our posts were kind of mix and matching in between because we were doing an athlete search. He was doing an athlete search as well. The thing with that side of it, I grew every single piece of it. The only downfall is trying to figure out who you're partners with, understanding them. Because you could be like me and you, we don't really know each other, right?
Yeah.
But if you know somebody for the longest time ever, you have to really be careful because they get very comfortable with you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to work. When I'm sitting down, I'm working. I'm in work mode, and there's nothing else that can stop me from working. Girlfriend could call me and saying, "What are you doing?" Don't answer.
Yeah.
When I'm in work mode, I'm in work mode.
You're in a zone. You're in a zone.
And that's another downfall that I have is because I'm in the zone and I'm not looking at what anybody else is doing.
Mm.
So I was like, I'm gonna get this done. These are my tasks. I got to do this. But then I didn't realize like, okay, these are my tasks, but the other motherfuckers in here are doing their shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I'm like one-sided. I'm doing all this, and now I realize I look over and I'm like, okay, that's not getting done. So now I'm trying to do this, and then I really took on all the responsibility.
Okay.
Because I screwed myself over into doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm already doing a lot as is.
Yeah.
And then I had to look at other people and what they're doing in the company, and I was the CEO of that company, so like at the same time, like I shouldn't have had to look over there and see like, what are you doing? Like this isn't the benefit of you mainly. Yeah. I'm like I have equity in this company as well, so I'm gonna do my part. Yeah. Then I started to realize that partners are a little shady sometimes when it comes to the money side aspect of things. But that was the first experience, and that didn't end too well as far as the partnership, the friendship. And I think that most people need to figure out who they're in business with and why they're in business. If they have the same passion as them or they don't. Mm-hmm. It's just scary that a lot of people nowadays, they just pick a partner. Yeah. Like everybody could just pick a girlfriend or a boyfriend. I mean, like that's cool too, because you can just go ahead and think you're going to spend the rest of your life with them. Yeah. So there's more to it than looking into a partner. How many breakups are going to happen this year? A shit ton, right? Yeah. Yeah. So you never know which one's the right one. It's the same chances of picking the right one when it comes to relationship. Yeah. But you have to be able to work together in the business relationship to have it survive and grow. Yeah. And if one person's doing everything, like a one-sided relationship, that's the biggest downfall. Yeah. That person has so much weighing down on them that like when it doesn't work out, that person's always left at the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I did all this work, and I was like, again, I did all this work, got screwed over, and then I was the one that had to sit there and be like, all right, I did everything.
So it's a huge lesson
Like
for you.
these guys came along for the fucking ride.
Yeah.
Like I did everything. So it was another thing. So now I take control of everything I do. Like I'll do everything the way that I want to do it because I know that I'm capable of doing it, and the only person that's to blame is me.
Accountability take place at that time. What now is this where, because I read somewhere that you follow a process called growth hacking. Is that something that helped propel your social media empire? And what exactly is growth hacking?
Growth hacking is just a combination of content and having the correct people that understand coding. So coding is like a way of creating a viral loop. So into content, there's a way to create a viral post. So there's only certain posts that can go viral and certain posts that can't.
Okay.
So like you can see the ones that are too staged can't go viral. The ones that are less staged and more of iPhone, like in the moment, those are the ones that people want to see. They want to see the raw footage.
Yeah.
Of like, let's just say this accident happened over here, and then this accident happened on ABC News. Which one would you rather want to watch?
Yeah, the one that's up close and
the one that's
there.
Like right in their face, so you can see everything. Because ABC News is just bullshit, and they're fucking putting something else in the place, and they're not even there at the moment. They got there after the fact.
Yeah.
So you're seeing the aftermath. I'd rather see what's going on in the moment.
Gotcha.
And those are the posts that people don't realize do the best. You could post those posts, and people will just come and like it, and then that like will, all those likes and all those comments that come in will boost it over into the Explore tab. Once it goes to the Explore page, it now gives new audience the ability to look at it. So people that don't follow you are able to see it. Now they can come and follow you. That's why the viral posts need to be done inside of your niche. Like if you're entrepreneurship, you're motivational, you need to find viral motivational videos. You can post on your page to attract those people. Now trying to recreate that for your own content is a little bit hard because now you have to, like Bedros does a great job. He's got 3 types of content. He has iPhone in the car, he has the professional videos that he does, and then he has his podcast. Yeah. So he's always hitting every aspect of the post. So his posts do very well. When we grow his account, his posts are doing amazing. Yeah. He's got all 3 points. Yeah. And valuable content. And he's able to work with it because he's creating with him inside of it. So people are now understanding who is Bedros, what does he do? Yeah. And they're coming to follow him and his account because of him. Other people that can't create content, they're going to need to actually go and find the content. Yeah. Repost it, give credit to the owner, and so on.
What's probably the biggest mistakes you see companies or maybe people who are building personal brands in regards to marketing themselves or their business? Because like for me, I'm trying to build a personal brand, and a part of it is like what you said. I'm trying to promote what I'm doing with this podcast and what I'm about. But also I like to go back to a human level and say, hey, you know what? I'm a relatable guy. You know, I'm a normal guy. I have a dog. You know, I'm into cars. I drink here and there. Is there what's like probably the biggest mistake you see in that field as far as people trying to market themselves or their business?
Okay, so I haven't posted in a couple months because I've been really busy, and I'll give you the honest. You want me to give you the honest answer about that one?
Yeah, no, I'm here to learn too.
Because the biggest mistake that people make, I'm gonna be honest with you, stop selling bullshit programs. Okay. That's number one. I see it every single time. I see sponsored ads. Just because there's a sponsored ad button, does that mean that you can just sell books and ebooks to people and thinking that they're gonna buy your program? Yeah. Who are you? Nobody knows who you are. You're trying to sell something because everybody else is making money on Instagram, and you think that's the only way that you're gonna make money is by putting money behind content. Yeah. You cannot put money behind content if you haven't fucking done anything.
Makes sense, yeah. Like
just because you want to have an online business and an Instagram fucking whatever empire you want to build, you can't just start selling shit. People need to know you first, and then they will buy from you. You need to build that awareness. If you haven't done anything, you haven't accomplished anything, nobody's going to buy anything from you. Yeah. But there's still a lot of people on Instagram that still purchase these programs. Yeah. And people are just lying. Yeah. Literally lying to these people about who they are and what they do. Yeah. And the biggest downfall of what's happening right now in social media, they're actually believing it.
Yes. I said in my last episode, I said we're in a space right now where I feel like people are actually able to see past bullshit You know what I mean? But like you said, at the same time, there's people who are still buying this stuff. And
Like the pictures of the $10,000 wad of cash in their Ferrari.
Yeah. They're falling victim.
Do you know what's funny about that? How many people do you think he fucking scammed in order to put that 10 grand in that Ferrari?
Yeah.
That's not even his car.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, you're looking at it.
Yeah.
And that stack is part of your money that you're about to pay this person. And they're going to do it again. They're going to make 20 G's and they're going to put in the Ferrari and they're going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And they're going to tell you, if you give me $250, I'm going to make you 10x that.
Yeah.
There is no business in the world that can do that unless you actually work for it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that gives somebody $250 and makes $2,500 overnight.
What's crazy is just the content itself, depending on what it's like an exotic car, it's going to grasp the attention of these people who are drawn to that.
The cars, I mean, that's Instagram was basically in the beginning when there's motivational quotes. It was just the cars, the luxury items, the watches,
all the fine things in life.
All the fine things in life because it's good scenery. It's good stuff to look at.
Yeah.
And people want to look at it. Like, I promise you, if you put a Ferrari in your product, you'll get more engagement on that post just because you put your product on the Ferrari.
Oh, yeah. I believe that.
But it's because the Ferrari's in the picture that people are going to double tap and it's going to make it go viral.
Uh-huh.
Then you got the other ones, like the other viral content is dogs. On Instagram, puppies. People love dogs.
Yeah.
So at the same time, if you took a picture of a dog and a picture of your product, you'll get a shit ton of engagement. It's just a marketing method, but people are utilizing this marketing method in the totally wrong way. They're actually deceiving people into believing that they've done so much more than they actually have. And nowadays, you can put money behind sponsored posts and see what the return is on it. But the problem is, like, at the end of the day, when this person comes and sees you and sits down with you in person, what the fuck are you going to tell them?
Yeah, you got nothing to back yourself up with. Yeah.
Like the ebook is cool because you've got time to sit there and think about it and copy off somebody else's fucking idea. But when you actually have to like sit there and teach somebody something, you're not gonna be able to do it. Yeah. And that's why people are they hide too much behind the phone. Yeah. Of post, make money, and eventually I'll make a shit ton of money. That's not how it works. Be real and actually figure out what you're good at. Yeah. And that is your service. Yeah. When I started off at 19, what I was good at was what I stuck with, even though I got fucked over and so on. I took what I was really good at the time that I had practice in and experience in, and I built my own business off of it. Yeah. People, they hop from piece to piece to piece, different industry. I've stayed in the same industry since I was 16. Yeah. I got a job at the gym when I was 16 at the front desk. Yeah. I realized I was good at talking to people and providing the proper service for people that want to come into a gym that's $100 a month. Yeah. So at the same time, I got promoted and I started working my way up and I realized, okay, this is where I'm going to stay. This is the industry I like. And I also was a very skinny kid when I was younger. So working out actually was the reason I got my job in the first place.
So what you're ultimately saying is you need to be authentic.
Yeah, you need to actually. So like I could talk to you about fitness, health, and so on, and I'm very passionate about it. Yeah. I'm in the supplement business because I believe that there's a lot of companies out there that are not doing the right thing. They're not providing high quality supplements and they're charging extra money for it. Yeah. The problem with that is there's people that spend $2 a unit to make their shit and they're selling it for $60.
So I got a question for you because I was going through some of your Instagram posts. You know, it's like taking a open book test without the book, right? I just was looking through your posts and you on one of your posts it was a very intriguing. So I think it went something along the lines of there is no such thing as brand loyalty in this industry, but at the same time, you put a huge emphasis on never, ever, ever sacrificing quality. Yes. Yeah. Could you speak on that a little bit? Because I feel like I understand what you're saying, but I feel like it's slightly conflicting because you're saying, you know, there's no such thing as brand loyalty. But then again, these companies, right, they're trying to they're trying to follow the market, right, of people who are trying to make the best bang for the buck, right? And they're sacrificing the quality.
They're only sacrificing quality because they want to increase sales. Okay, gotcha. Increasing sales is great because now the person that's buying a product for $39.99 is now getting it for $34.99. Okay. So now company B is coming along and they're saying, hey, this guy's getting more sales, so let me go to fucking $27.99. And then company C comes along and says, hey, I'm new to the game, but you know what? Fuck quality. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and drop it down to $19.99. So now...
It's like a horse race.
Yeah, so everybody's undercutting everybody else. And they're trying to be number one because sales equals everything in this business, but at the same time, you got to look at bottom line. Somebody that's selling a product for $19.99 like that, if they have warehouse costs, they have employee. There's no way they're making money unless their product's like $1.50.
Mm-hmm. So that means they're sacrificing the quality like crazy then.
They're sacrificing the quality because there's two different types of companies out there. There's companies that want to do the right thing, that have high quality products that will never budge in their price.
Yeah.
Then there's companies that will have one specific product that they know you can feel the second you take it. For example, pre-workout. And they will wholesale that out to every single fucking store for $7. Even if they make 50 cents or $1 profit, they're trying to get that brand awareness and shoot it out everywhere.
That's nuts.
Because what happens is retailers, they don't want to spend $15 for a pre-workout.
Yeah.
They want to spend $7 so they can sell it for 40.
Mm-hmm.
They want to make as much as
so they can market it up.
Their spread means more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
When you're wholesaling out to those guys, they're building the brand for you.
Mm-hmm.
They're pushing it. They're like, hey, I'm going to make a shit ton more money if I sell this one.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get it for $7. So I'm going to push all my guys to sell it. Every single store. And it starts to spread from store chain to countries. And those are the guys that literally just destroy the industry. They're destroying the industry because now they're trying to just take one product and blast it out everywhere. And now, since their stuff is in every other store, they're like, hey, by the way, I got a protein. Hey, by the way, I got a BCA amino acid. By the way, I got a fat burner. Those they sell for higher prices.
But do those customers actually go to those other, their other products also?
But that's the thing. When the guy comes back in next month to buy from the wholesale,
yeah, okay,
they're sitting there and they're like, oh, by the way, I just picked up this protein from the company you've been purchasing for the last 3 months.
Gotcha.
There's two ways to do it. I don't like doing it that way because it makes your brand just dilute it. When you go around and in this industry, if you're like, yo, those guys over there, they're selling their pre-workout to that wholesaler for $7. You're gonna be thinking like, okay, these guys are fucking pieces of shit. Not because they're doing better as far as volume, but it's because it's just known in the industry. It's like it's literally like cheap products. If you're selling it for $7 and you're making a profit, there's no way in hell.
Yeah,
because that product is a powder and it's powder form, and it's gonna cost you $7 to make it. Maybe even 9 or 10 if it was good stuff. So at the same time, people in this industry, they drop their quality all the time. And I came in there and I'm increasing the quality. I mean, you look at the network of girls that we have at Supplements, we got 780 real, genuine girls. Girls that either have been bullied and changed their lives, girls that are moms that gain too much weight. All these girls go on stage and they win in the top 5 of every show that we do in California and Vegas.
Yeah, they have a passion for it.
They have a passion for it, but think about it. I got into this industry to change it, but I got in the industry to make sure that we do the right thing for the customer. But at the same time, anybody else that's looking in on it, because I have a female-only company. So like at the same time, the female-only company is not going to be catering towards the whole market. It's going to be catering towards female empowerment.
Yeah.
And at the same time, doing the right thing, because right now there's so many girls that are coming to the company and they're like, I've been bullied when I was 19 or 20. And now they want to get in shape and turn around and make a statement.
Yeah.
The people that are in our company, like some of them haven't won anything in their life.
Yeah.
And for my partners to train them, give them dieting, and getting on stage and actually winning something, they'll be loyal to us forever because we changed their life.
Yeah.
That is called changing a life. What is not called changing a life is selling bullshit products.
Yeah.
And believing my mission in this company is to change 5 million lives. Well, you know what? You're making a shit ton of money, but what are you doing to give back?
Yeah.
You can change 5 million lives because they spent $50 a person to buy your shit.
Yeah.
Or you can actually do stuff that is going to change the industry and the world at the same time. Like we do charity events. We go to homeless shelters. We go to women's shelters. We empower women that have been abused and so on. So my goal is not, I love money. Don't get me wrong. But I also do love giving back.
Yeah.
I don't care about the other aspect if it takes me 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years to get there. But I love what I do every day because of that.
Yeah. See, and that's what I found unique. I don't know if you know with this, the people I bring on here, my mission is, again, I want to bring on people who are making an impact. And I see it because you've been in the industry for so long, since again, you were 16, right? So going back to the supplement part though, because you started off as a personal trainer, then you had that first, you were CEO of that first supplement company, and that didn't work out. Where are you at now with the whole supplement industry? You're now manufacturing supplements.
Yeah,
Correct?
so
Okay.
we also help manufacturing with the supplement side for other companies that want to launch their own
Nice.
brand.
Okay.
So it's more of the fact that I like to keep quality. So if I'm going to bring clients on board, I make sure the quality is up to par.
Mm-hmm.
I can't be bought for any amount of money in the world.
Yeah.
That's just how I am, the person that I am. So for me to be in the position that I am in, I mean, I can make an impact because nobody can tell me, hey, you know what? Swipe some of those ingredients out of there and give me the product for less.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do back end or shady deals.
Yeah.
The best part is when that product leaves the manufacturing plant, it goes straight to the person, and what's in it is actually in it, and label is compliant,
Mm-hmm.
and not one label is off by an inch.
Mm-hmm.
It's pasted on there. It's on there through the machine, and that's clean cut. You got your stuff, good quality. Now go sell it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, hey, you know what? I'm actually hesitant to give you all this stuff and send you the pallets because I don't know if I'm going to get busted or whatever the deal is. Because in this industry, you're manufacturing stuff that's going to people's bodies.
Yes. I was going to say it does not approve those facilities and the stuff that's in is not approved by the FDA. Right?
Facilities can be licensed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
For good manufacturing practice, GMP certification, and then there's 2 branch off certifications you can get as well to make it even better for clients to come and work with you.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you could lose all those certifications if you do something stupid.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of companies that don't give a shit. They're doing $200, $300, $400 million a year, and they just don't care.
Yeah.
They'll give you whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
They'll never recommend like, hey, by the way, let's formulate this the right way. Let's make sure that the people that are buying your stuff are gonna get the right dosages and actually have a result from it. And then you get the people that are like, I don't really give a shit because I have all these other clients. Like when you want to order, you order, and then we'll just ship you the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's no thought process. There's no like. What I've realized over time is that people, when they do business now, they're not really doing business to do business. They're doing business by looking at you as a dollar sign.
Yeah.
They're not actually learning you as a person and getting to know you as a person. They're not doing the basic stuff that we used to do.
Mm-hmm.
There's people doing business that have never shook hands before over the internet. So now you're taking away the human aspect. If any deal is coming to the manufacturing plant that is brought there, I'm shaking their hand. I'm with them. I go to visit them. I go sit down with them.
Yeah.
I find out what their needs are, what their demographic is. And then we create a product based on that.
Yeah.
Like we have formulators at the facility that are amazing. Like scientists, they create stuff because they know, okay, this is the niche. These are moms or these are males. There's different products and different ingredients that go into each product.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's one that, hey, it's a generic. Go ahead, just slap a label on it and start selling it.
Yeah. I'm curious to know because I take supplements. What is what is a suggestion for the buyer when looking at a supplement when they purchase it? Like, is there a way they could avoid is there a way to identify that this product is definitely not
stay away
quality?
from proprietary blends because proprietary blends
I was just gonna say, yeah,
are 7,500 milligrams of this fat burning matrix. Sounds cool. In your brain, it's going to work.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when you take it, it is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You have to actually look at, so it goes based on compounds. Like, as they're listed is what the most of it is. The last thing on that list is what the least of it is.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever's in that little box, the least of whatever is in that 7,500 milligrams is at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be the most effective ingredient, but if it's at the bottom of that list, it's no use.
Mm-hmm. So these partnerships that you're forming for the people who are reaching out to you to do those supplements, is it a natural, like you're identifying their passion and kind of their purpose and what they want, the ideas? What's the process of forming a partnership like that? Are they just reaching out to you and you say, okay, this is what I may provide? Or do you have to find like a similarity or some sort of sync of some kind where you guys mesh and you guys have a similar idea and purpose and go straight forward with
when
that?
I go to launch a supplement brand,
Yeah.
what you're asking?
Yeah.
I go and if I find you on Instagram or find you somewhere where you can be seen, I do the thinking.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, you got 500 gyms, you need to have a supplement line. Think about your bottom line.
So you're doing branding too. Now we're talking about branding technically.
Yeah, we're pushing the fact that, so most people will just come to them when they're ready to go. I don't like to do that. I'm a person that goes out and gets shit done. I will go to you and I will make sure I say, okay, this is how you're gonna make money. Like I said, solution to a problem.
Yeah.
The problem isn't there yet because you haven't seen it that it's a problem. When those people come to your gym, they're going somewhere else to get this stuff. They're not. You think that just because they come to this location that they're not taking other stuff from other stores like GNC and Vitamin Shop. Those supplements are being sold to these people, and you just opened up a storefront location to attract more people into this town.
Yeah.
You're giving them the business.
Yeah.
So why don't you take the business yourself and upkeep the quality and standards of your business? You take, like I said, if you take control of your own business, keep the quality standards the way you want it.
Yeah.
But if you leave things to other people and, oh, I'll get to it or it's going to happen, it's never going to happen. Somebody's going to be swiping that business from you. And when you go to sell a company like that, you're going to want to have that branch off of revenue. And as long as you can make sure that the products are high quality, you're not going to have a single complaint. It's for your niche, it's for your demographic, and you sell it to them direct, they'll never have to go to another store, and you're building your brand awareness at the same time.
So we're talking a lot about accountability, it sounds like, because, taking control. When does Amar feel like it's best to start delegating certain tasks? Because it seems like, I guess it just depends on the situation, correct? Because it seems like, if you have the ultimate control of where this product or this brand's going to go. When is it the right time to start delegating like tasks like that? Business moves.
Business moves to other people?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on what stage of business you're in.
Okay.
It's a huge factor. People let go of their duties too early. Or they let go of them too late. It's just like running your money too thin or running it too loose. People run their money too loosely and they just start spending it. Then there's people that don't spend shit and to realize they need to spend money to make money. So there's people that run their budget too small and they run their budget too big. You got to find your mid ground. You got to find when you're comfortable to let go of a task that you know is set up with your mindset. If you set it up and you put somebody into it, you can remove them. But if you haven't set it up and somebody else sets it up for you, you cannot remove them if you want to. That person created it. What do you know about that task? You have to make the task yourself in the beginning.
Gotcha.
And then start passing it off to people you trust. The biggest thing is finding employees in the beginning that you trust. There's a lot of employees that you're not going to trust because you're going to bring them on. You're going to be like, oh, I don't know. I don't think you're ready for it yet. Honestly, some people, they just either throw them into a position or they wait and those people end up quitting.
Man.
It's all about your character and who you are as a person. Like, I've been screwed over so many times, but I still give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
No matter what you've done, where you've come from, you're a clean slate when you come to me.
Bedros talks about something about trust and how you make sure that person repeats your expectations of that.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. So where is Edge Supplements at now? Where do you see it in the next 5 years? Like, what are the goals for Edge Supplements?
Well, my goals for the company are to expand the line, expand the SKUs. We have a lot of female products coming out in the next couple months. My main goal is to just build our network. We have a huge network. I mean, you go to anybody that's really heavily into fitness. I mean, we sponsor every show in the state of California and Vegas. You see the signed Team Edge on everything. I mean, I go to the supermarket and people are like, oh, what do you do? Oh, CEO of Edge Supplements and Team Edge. And they're like, oh my God, I know Team Edge. I know Ingrid Romero. That's my business partner.
Okay.
But Ingrid Romero, she's like #1 in fitness. She's like the Arnold of females.
Interesting. Wow.
And we're planning on growing that company as fast as possible to take over our niche, which is females. Female empowerment. But we're doing the little stuff at the same time, which I want to take the time to do. Go to hospitals, go to homeless shelters, go to women's shelters. Do the little stuff along the way that builds your brand to not just be the money-hungry brands that are out there. All these companies care about is the actual bottom line. What do I take home?
Yeah.
And that's all I give a fuck about. What I take home. You don't think about what everybody else takes home. Or like what this person on the side of the street is not taking home. And if you're going to have your company based out of a certain state, you should give back to that state. You should give back to that state, even though you're paying the taxes there. You should still give back to the community. And California has so many homeless people.
Yeah.
I think the rate is the highest in LA.
Yeah.
So to figure out there's a problem somewhere and nobody's doing anything about it and you're able to do something about it, I think people need to start thinking along the lines of that.
Yeah.
And the industry has gone to shit because of that. Because nobody has done those little things.
Yeah.
They've always done what's best for them.
Yeah.
How many sales am I going to bring in this month? I promise you that you'll bring in more sales when you start to give back to certain things that people can relate to. People are like, oh, I saw this homeless person. I wanted to give them money, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Then you could be the other person. Hey, I saw this homeless person. I went to the homeless shelter and I fed him and I taught him how to do proper workouts and I taught him certain stuff and I donated my time. I mean, nothing beats donating your time.
Yeah. It sounds like Edge Supplements is a brand of excellence because, like Kobe Bryant, he said when he was asked define what excellence is, it's about making an impact. And it sounds like it's more than just supplements. Also, it's about empowering women. It's about making an impact in the community.
I've always stayed in the industry, right? I've always stayed in the industry as far as personal training, the gyms, supplements. There's always another branch off, an add-on.
Yeah.
And I see an add-on, which is something that people aren't doing. They're not doing the little stuff. And I wish other companies started to do that. They don't give back to the community. They don't do anything for the community. They just want to make fucking money.
Yeah.
And money is cool and everything. But at the same time, when you're building it and you're building and you're building it, you're going to want to know what you're building it for.
Yeah.
Like money's only going to do so much. You're going to see $5 million come in and $10 million and $20 million come in. And it's just going to be a fucking number to you.
Yeah.
But the $20 million that are coming in, like, where you're going to be able to look at it in your account and say, hey, you know what? I actually deserve this. I gave back to everybody. I did my part.
Like, what does it mean?
I did my part as a human fucking being.
Yeah.
And there's not many people that have the ability to go out there and make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Or they were given the ability and they dropped the ball on it. But at the same time, you're able to change people because money means more to them right now than it does to you. You see 20 million, they see $20. To them, what's in your account means more to them. Yeah. Because for you, you see it all the time. For them, they're just scraping by.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you can teach them a lesson along the way of motivation and finding out like who they are as a person, you could take homeless people from the street and put them in a fucking job.
Yeah. Invest in people. Yeah.
How many people actually talk to homeless people nowadays?
Yeah, it doesn't seem a lot.
Nobody talks to them.
Yeah.
People just walk right by them, throw a couple dollars in the fucking thing. But at the end of the day, do you actually go and like find out what their story is? They could have been a millionaire.
Yeah.
Sitting on the side of the road right now, and you could learn the most valuable lesson.
Absolutely.
From that person. What they do wrong? Why are they on the street? And then you can give them money. You can give them other stuff. But at the same time, if you have a talk with them, I think the talk changes more than the dollars.
Definitely. I think it takes one gesture or maybe one conversation that could really change that person's life. You know, and like you said, not a lot of people are talking to these people that they were once, you know, they had something going on with them, or they had a great story too, right?
They probably had one of the best stories and never even heard of it.
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me, because I'm a registered nurse, so when I would talk to some of these people, man, I'd be so inspired by just their story, veterans or just things that they've accomplished, you know. And, you know, they're at a place at a time of healing, so, you know, they want to, you know, it's great to know these people. I want to ask you something, because now we're talking about impact and investing in people. What do you want your legacy to say in the, I don't know, next 10, 15, 20 years? You know, you're obviously huge in social media. You're huge in fitness. You're big in the supplements. You know, you're trying to make an impact. What do you want your legacy to say?
Wow. I didn't really even think of that. I think I'm just working so much that I didn't even.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy that I didn't even think about that. But I mean, if I
you,
were,
you know, you seem like a great person. I'm honored out of my mind to have you on board here on this episode. I just you know, I see a great person, and it's just kind of like, man, dude, like he's trying to do a lot of good, and he's been you identified, you know, lots of different things at such a young age. So I find your mindset very, very unique.
I like to pick up on things, like to move with them. And
yeah.
I always notice that people that are always moving are always doing shit, and people that are sitting around doing nothing.
Gotcha.
So like less movement means less progress. More movement, whether it's left, right, up, or down, doing well or doing bad, or failing or winning.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, movement is the only reason that other stuff works for you.
Taking action, making
Taking
moves.
action, doing the stuff that people don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How many if you're doing the shit that everybody else is doing,
Mm-hmm.
the problem is the same result.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do something different? Step outside the little box.
Yeah.
Step outside the circle. And maybe people are going to laugh at you, right? They're going to laugh at you. They're going to say, hey, you know what? You're a fucking idiot because you're standing on that side and everybody else is standing over here. You don't know shit.
Yeah.
But then slowly but surely, when you start to make movements and action, one person will come over to your side.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2, then 10, then 20. Then the person that was talking shit is going to be on his own side.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking a lot of mental notes right now, by the way.
a lot of those people, they don't realize that there's two sides.
Yeah.
Two sides to any story.
Mm-hmm.
And
About perspective.
You're either on one side or the other side. There's a villain or there's a hero.
Yeah.
There's always two sides to every story. There's winning and there's losing.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to be?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pick one of them, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's too many people that just stand still.
Yeah.
They think, hey, if I just don't do anything, I'll be good. And that's the fastest way to get fucking run over.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're not doing anything. You're just you're standing so still that you're not moving. You're not able to figure out what you want to do. You're not gonna figure anything out standing still.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the biggest thing is just staying moving, stay rolling.
Mm-hmm.
Just taking action, and whether it's right or wrong, I mean, you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
You're going to have to figure it out because if you don't take action, most of the people that fail, they never know how to get back up from it. They just sit there, and they'll never recover from it.
Yeah.
There's people that I've seen that have failed, that went to the top and failed, and they didn't even realize what they did it all for when they got to the top. That when everything started crumbling down, you don't even see them anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so is it safe to say you want to be known, your legacy, the guy that made a lot of moves, but very impactful moves?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say definitely impactful moves. But my thing is, it's always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
I think that too many people are stuck up on, how am I going to make $100,000?
Yeah.
How am I going to make 10 G's? How am I going to make $1 million?
Yeah.
All that stuff comes with it. All of it comes with it slowly but surely. It comes with what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
When you're actually trying to do stuff, it comes with it. And actually being like a genuine human being is something that people don't have nowadays.
Yes.
Actually sitting down and talking to people and just understanding them.
Yeah.
I learned so much through people. I never learned a single fucking thing from books.
Mm-hmm.
I sit down and I analyze a person and I listen to what they're saying and I figure it out. I'm like, okay, this happened to me, and I noticed that. I noticed like, okay, that actually happened to me when I was 21 or 20 or 19.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll piece together. I'll start piecing it together from my past because those are things that I didn't understand then.
Yeah.
And it might be something that I didn't understand until today.
Yeah.
But you talking, you opening up that old wound will actually help heal. Mm-hmm. But I need to actually sit down and understand you and like talk to you in order to figure out like this person went through it. I'm not the only person.
Yeah.
And most people aren't able to do that. They just want to just shoot forward.
Yeah.
Without having any of the failures.
Yeah, yeah. Man, dude, this is so much to take in. I feel like I just, I feel like I went to entrepreneurship school or something, man. Dude, I appreciate you. We are just about to run out of time, but I do want to ask you something because, again, I find it very unique, your mindset, and I'm very curious to know. Actually, and I smile when I'm about to ask you this because you could come at me in so many different ways. What would you say motivates you? I mean, you started so young. You're 26 now, right? It seems like you have a lot more to accomplish, and you've done so much within that span of years. What motivates Amar, man? Like, what keeps you going? Like, what's pushing you to drive, man? You're like a semi-truck, bro. Just keep going, and I'm feeding off it a lot right now.
The thing is, I mean, what keeps me going? I mean, it's a really good question because everybody has their own what keeps them going.
Exactly.
I think it's called, what is your driving force?
Okay.
Of what you do, and every day it's your why. And I don't really care about the why. I care about what I do every day. If I love what I do every day, I'll always be a good person. Mm-hmm. And if you're good to people and you're a good person because you love what you do every day, you ever see somebody that goes to their job, they fucking hate their job? They will actually be negative towards every other fucking person.
Yeah.
That's how you know they hate their life. When they're like, oh, you know what? That's not going to work. Or you know what, you're doing the wrong thing.
There's negative. Yeah.
Negativity comes from what you do. Like, think about it. You sleep how many hours? 4, 5, 6 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you go to work for 8. Most of your life is either dreaming or working.
Yes.
One or the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you take up most of your day as, I hate my fucking life at 9 a.m. and I hate my fucking life at 5 p.m., what makes you think that that's not going to affect how you treat people?
Yeah.
It's like half of your whole day. And then you have dreams and you want to sleep more hours because you think that it's a better place to be. So go quit your fucking job, be a man, and actually go and do stuff
Mm-hmm.
and what you love to do. Go
Mm-hmm.
to get another job. If you don't like that job, get the job that you like.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that from the beginning. I like what I do from the start, so like I never had a problem with it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved what I've done. And if money's the problem, people focus on the money too much.
Yeah.
I mean, my only motivation to keep going is that I'm able to do the right thing for everybody. Like I'm always the type of person, like if something does happen, I will always be that person to say something.
Yeah.
If something wrong is happening to somebody out there, I will always be that person.
Yeah.
I just don't have a filter when it comes to people that take advantage of other people.
Absolutely.
Because I've had people take advantage of me. And it's not cool, but at the same time, like it's a learning lesson.
Yes.
But if I see it, I will not just stand by and say, hey, you know what, let that guy learn his lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I was learning my way around, I was actually figuring out through other people's experiences, like, okay, don't do business with this person because they made you lose $2 million or whatever the case was, how to gauge people and what to do.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people are just letting people just go and say, hey, you know what, there's a hole there, I'm not going to tell you about it.
Yeah.
Because I want you to fail. I want you to. The only people that you actually see that actually do shit in their life are people that have made a lot of money and are able to help a lot more people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people that, if you have less, I've noticed that I help myself all the time in the beginning. In the beginning, I used to help everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Now I help myself, but I'm able to help so many more people along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Because people call me jealous. They're jealous because I'm able to stay away from it.
Yeah.
I'm able to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go do my own thing, and this is my mission. I want to help these amount of people. And like I lose my friends because of it, and I lose all the other stuff because of it. And I'm only 26, so like I should be doing the things. I should be getting fucked up every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Should be going to the club, and I should be just drinking every day of the week because somebody did tell me once, hey, you're gonna regret you're gonna regret not having fun in your 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And that person that told me that has a fucking job.
Yeah.
And they're 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look at those things like, you're 40 and you're telling me I should go out at 20? Absolutely not, because look where the fuck you're at.
Yeah.
It's two different ways to look at things. The person that's telling it to you through their experience, are they actually genuinely telling you that?
Mm-hmm.
Are they actually saying like, hey, like you should have fun in your 20s, and they're fucking retired?
Yeah.
Not one of those people are going to be like, hey, I'm 30, I'm a multimillionaire, but you know, in my 20s, I got fucked up every weekend.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Not one person's going to tell you that.
Yeah.
They worked. They did the shit that other people didn't want to do at the time. That didn't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They pushed it away. They said, hey, you know what? I'm going to start working. I'll start grinding next year, the year after, year after, year after. And then by that time, they're 30. You're 21. I started early, so I had the ability to retire early.
Mm-hmm.
Most people, they're not looking at that.
Yeah.
And my motivation is to push forward every day. And I don't even know what keeps me motivated when it comes to that aspect, but it's just a light switch. When I wake up, I love what I do.
Yeah.
Of course, when I see sales coming, I love what I do. When I help people, I love what I do. And it's always gonna be with me for a very long time. I don't come from an entrepreneur family, so when things start to move forward, because there's a lot of people back in the day, like my family especially, they're like, hey, you're not gonna do anything with your life, because they're also used to go to school, get a degree, and all the basic stuff. But my motivation wasn't to have a job and work for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It was to be my own boss, take control of my life, because I take responsibility for everything I do. I even take responsibility for shit that I didn't do, just to teach myself how to take responsibility when that does happen. So like when shit does happen and there's 10 people sitting in a room and nobody wants to take responsibility for it, I'll take the responsibility for it. Because I know that lesson is going to teach me more than what these guys think running away from responsibility means. So I always grow daily because I take on everything. So if I'm able to take on responsibility from somebody else, it's perfect because I'm taking their learning lesson.
Mm-hmm.
They could learn the lesson, or they could just pass it off to somebody else and they can learn it.
Yeah.
I think I build my book based on other people's lessons and their responsibilities that I take on.
Man. Woo, man. Amar Patel, man. Super motivating, very inspiring story, man. Again, hey, I appreciate you coming on the parables, man. Very impactful. What a powerful episode. I cannot wait to publish this bad boy. Guys, before we shut down here, just let everyone know, for everyone who listens but does not watch on YouTube, I have a parables canvas behind me, and everyone that comes on, the most impactful, amazing people, I have them sign it. Amar, if you would do me the pleasure of signing this bad boy when we shut down, I'd really appreciate it. You guys, tell everybody where they could find you, Instagram, email, or wherever.
Yeah, you can do Instagram at Amar's Way, AMARS_way. And that's probably the easiest way to reach me.
And then edgesubs.com.
Yeah,
edgesubs.com.
edgesubs.com.
We'll leave that info on the bottom. Again, guys, I'm on the Parables podcast is available on YouTube, and we are also, for your listening pleasure, on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, and Google Play. Episode 3, man, very powerful. Can't wait to share it with you guys. Have a blessed day.